What's going on, everyone? I'm Michael,
I'm Alicia.
and we are the Gons.
All right, Michael. Why are we watching Shiny Happy People Season 2?
All right, well, obviously if you're here, you saw the thumbnail and title. And yeah, this one's going to be obviously a bit different than just our normal react, because got a bit of a personal connection here. But yeah, for people who have already watched Shiny Happy People Season 2, they know that it's about the Honor Academy, Teen Mania, Acquire the Fire, Ron Luce, that whole thing. And yeah, back in 2008, I was an intern, as they called it, at Honor Academy for a year. So,
Not actually at Honor Academy.
so yeah, weird little thing. So, I was at Honor Academy, but Honor Academy has a little subset thing that you could be a part of, and it was called CCM, which was the Center for Creative Media, which it was our job to create all the media that went into like Acquire the Fire and promotional videos and stuff like that. So I was a part of that. I guess, yeah, a quick little history on how I got involved in everything. So Acquire the Fire, which obviously we're about to learn about because the first episode is called Acquire the Fire, was a
Stadium event.
stadium event that toured all over. And, big Christian event that you would go to. It was coming to Billings, Montana, and our youth group was going to go to it. So we got all the promotional material sent to us, and I was doing video at the time for our church, and our youth pastor gave me a promo video that he thought I would be interested in, and it was for Center for Creative Media. So, like I said, Center for Creative Media is an internship within Teen Mania Honor Academy, where, yeah, you're basically, it's hands-on experience to learn to do film in a working production company, is what it boiled down to.
Yep. And the director, one of the things that really appealed to us, one of the reasons why we thought it would be a great idea for Michael to go, because we were dating at the time. No, we weren't.
No dating allowed at Honor Academy.
No dating allowed at Honor Academy. We had to break up officially for him to go, which was, we had a conversation with the directors of Center for Creative Media ahead of time, and anyways, that's neither here nor there for right now. So one of the things that really drew us to it was that the director of Center for Creative Media, Doug Rittenhouse, had actually worked in Hollywood. He had worked for MTV and VH1. He had worked for VH1.
Yeah, he was a producer for VH1's Behind the Music.
Yeah, so he actually had real-world experience and was taking that, applying his faith to it, and then doing an internship for students.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we did like is that the way that they talked about it was that Center for Creative Media was kind of separate in its own thing.
So that's what I was getting to. So the promotional material, basically, it talks about Doug Rittenhouse, talks about his experience, talks about what we'll be doing with Center for Creative Media, which is hands-on experience, and they had different tracks you could be a part of. You could be producing track, you could be a director track, you could be an actor track. You go down there and you follow that track and you learn how to do it in an actual setting that would translate into the industry, basically. But then also in the promotional material, it talked about how you would be going to classes as well, and talked about some faith classes and stuff like that, but it didn't talk about necessarily that you would be a part of the Honor Academy to the extent that it was. I thought the classes would be like learning about stuff on the media side of it, but when I got down there, it turns out that, you have to attend classes with the Honor Academy, you have to go to events with the Honor Academy. Basically, you have to be with the Honor Academy unless CCM had a project that pulled you away from the Honor Academy. So we were a part of the Honor Academy, but also separate in ways. But it was also weird. We were also separate just in the fact that we were CCMers, not HAers. HA was a very... It's hard to know what to say.
Yeah.
The people that were in HA were they were there for a very dedicated purpose. That purpose was to seclude themselves from everything within the world so they could focus on their faith, is probably how I would say. At least that's what the general idea of it was. So we, as the media side of it, we were allowed to do more and be a part of more things than HAers were, because they couldn't do any secular TV shows, any secular movies. I don't think they could do any secular music, where we still were allowed to do that. I think it was only technically with permission, but we did it all. I mean, we watched whatever we want. We listened to whatever we want, for the most part. And like in my dorm, we had video games set up, playing video games and all that. So we, and I heard this directly from some HAers, we were the heathens on campus as CCMers. Because we weren't there secluding ourselves from the world like they were.
Yeah.
I know the focus of this is more on the HA side of things. At least I think. I don't know that. But I think this more focused on the HA side of it. So my experience isn't going to fully line up with the experience of people in the show, most likely. Right. I will have been in and around a lot of things that happened. So
at the same time that he was going to Center for Creative Media, I was attending Bible school in Dallas at Christ for the Nations Institute.
Yeah, and I was in, Garden Valley, but basically Tyler, Texas.
Right. So I would drive over on the weekend because Michael was there,
and
as well as
a couple of other friends.
Yeah, some friends that were also from Montana. And so I
don't want to say names of people because I don't know if they want to be associated with any of this.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So I would drive down on the weekends to see them, mostly Michael, because we were not dating. And so I will say, like, we did honor their boundaries, but it was just, and we had talked, like I said, to the directors of CCM ahead of time, and like, he's older, he's not like just out of
that's the other thing I was
high
gonna
school say. And like, we had been talking about possibly getting married before this, and we wound up deciding to wait. But they were like, we understand that you're in a different season of life. They're like, we would just ask that you would respect the boundaries and technically be broken up, even though you know that after this is over, you'll be together again.
Right.
And so that's what we did. We knew that we were still in a committed relationship, but we respected the boundaries of Teen Mania.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing though. My age. So I went down there in my early 20s, whereas the recruitment process is geared towards people coming directly out of high school.
Yeah.
Basically impressionable teenagers. So I didn't fit in or buy into or really associate with as much going on.
Yeah.
Because I already had more real world experience.
Right.
So, but yeah, I will say also, to throw this out there, Center for Creative Media was great, in my opinion. And that's the other thing that I will say about this whole thing is this is going to be my experience and my opinions, which are going to be different from everyone that went to Honor Academy and Teen Mania. I still am in touch with a lot of people from Center for Creative Media, and there's a lot of different experiences.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who loved the experience at Center for Creative Media. I think most, as far as I know, people who are a part of CCM liked CCM. But I also have heard from a lot of people who the Honor Academy side of it, basically they had to go through deprogramming, they had to go through therapy, a lot of stuff. People had to try and rebuild their faith, people who have stepped completely away from the faith, and a lot of that, according to them, is because of Honor Academy and treatment that happened there. So, yeah, while I may not have been as in it as a lot of people, I was on the campus during a lot of, I was on, you had to live on campus, so I was on the campus for the whole year. I just wasn't, and I will admit too, like, I skipped classes a lot. I would go and just hang out in my dorm while I was supposed to be in classes and all that, the ones that I didn't agree with, and so. Yeah. But I did witness a lot of things, and that's the other thing I will say is, it is weird looking back on things now, and like, in our small group, but we were really recently talking about, with one of our friends, we were talking about Honor Academy and my time there and different things that happened there that I saw and experienced. And as I was saying them, I had the realization, Because I'd never really thought about it. Because, like I said, it didn't affect me all that much, and I didn't really think about it until this show came out. Of the abuse that happened, and I never really thought about it as abuse. I talked to you about things that happened while I was there. I'm like, that was messed up. This one thing that happened, you know. But thinking back on everything now that this is coming out, I'm like, there was a lot of messed up things. And
now also being older,
yeah,
and being parents and all of that, and
definitely
looking at it through our worldview now, and just being like that there was a lot that happened that just was not okay. And I'm sure we'll get into more of that as this goes on. We don't want to like lay everything out right now in this first intro, but there's definitely stories that Michael will be telling of things that he witnessed, things that he saw, and just different stuff that happened there that was really messed up. Yeah.
And I don't know what all they're going to go into on the show either. So I am curious of what talking points they're going to have brought up because of them discussing it.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, is Teen Mania was around for a long time. So I'm sure there's going to be stories of things that happened well before I was there, and possibly things that happened after I was there, because it didn't operate much longer after I left.
Right.
I don't remember when it officially shut down, and Ron Luce went into hiding, as far as I know, because of tax issues.
That's what we heard anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that'll be discussed, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussion on Ron Luce, since he was the creator of Teen Mania.
Yeah.
So,
and real quick before we dive in, we would love to have you like this video. Let us know that you're here. Also, comment down below any questions that you have, any thoughts or stories, experiences that you have. Yeah. And make sure that you subscribe to our channel. We have a goal as a channel to hit 1,000 subscribers. We would love to have you be a part of helping us reach that goal. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey. And we also have a Patreon if you want to join us over there. We do early release on any of our shows. We also have Patreon exclusives that are only going to be available over on Patreon, so we'd love to have you join us over there. We also will do polls to help us decide what we're going to watch next. So, link will be down in the description for that, and we'd love to see you over there. All right, well, I think we've talked enough for an intro, so we'll actually dive into this and see if I can pull up some drama. Here we go. Yay! This is fun. Acquire the Fire. I loved Acquire the Fire. I did too. I think they were great events.
All right, y'all. Shiny Happy Season 2.
It'll be interesting to see how many people you recognize.
Yeah.
This is literally all of my Teen Mania baggage.
Where's this ministry?
Did you ever hear about Teen Mania?
It was so crazy and so weird.
It's like, how do you know you're in a cult if that's your normal?
I mean, you don't.
Until someone comes along and that's not good. This is a cult.
It's funny, that's exactly what I said just before we started filming. It's so true. Turns out I was in a cult.
Yeah.
He's the ringmaster.
This is God! This is an encounter with the Son of God!
There were 3 main branches of Teen Mania. Acquire the Fire.
It was like Coachella for youth groups.
I mean, my favorite part was...
There was the Global Expeditions mission trips.
The concerts.
To go around the world and save people for Jesus.
They also ran the Honor Academy, which was a Christian boot camp.
You were the Marines of this movement.
We believed we were changing the world. But then, it gets weird.
You're about to undertake the most intense training I know of in the body of Christ.
Sounds like Esau. That is Esau.
Sleep deprivation, food deprivation, verbal abuse, refusal of medical treatment, rolling in vomit.
This is the generation that was raised to seize power.
You were a part of that production.
I know a lot of people in that crowd.
I would definitely say I don't know like anything about the political side of any of this. Like with Acquire the Fire, like I don't remember anything Ron Luce said, but I enjoyed the concerts.
Right.
We had a lot of fun with our youth group.
I always grew up feeling like Hollywood did not understand Christianity. This is like a bad caricature, and it has none of the like positive spirit. It feels like mocking, or it just feels like this person has never met a real Christian before. And it's the 90s, like we're flooded with culture. Like it was wild.
There was a real sense of like being assaulted by these secular ideas in the media.
I remember growing up hearing about how we needed to pray that God would restore America's Christian character.
They're especially worried about a culture that is at war with what they believe.
It came from a sincere concern that the culture was corrupt. There was a lot of discussion of spiritual warfare and of having to fight a battle against evil. We were trying to save the world, not just ourselves, but the whole world.
Carmen. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Carmen.
Oh, wow.
It was very much, let's create the Christian corollary, and then maybe we can beat MTV.
Our dad, Ray Boltz, is a Christian singer.
She's feeling that. I definitely have no idea who he is.
I've been writing about varieties of religious expression for about 25 years. At the time, I was writing for Rolling Stone magazine and working on a long project about very elite political Christian conservatives. And I'm calling them political because that was their priority.
Close to 1 in 4 Americans were white evangelicals. Evangelical leaders have been very effective in mobilizing voters.
They had this idea of retaking America.
Part of the mission was to train up a generation that would restore the world and the nation back to godliness.
And that's where Ron begins.
This is all very interesting.
Yeah.
Being a child of the 90s.
Hi, I'm Ron Luce. Hi, I'm Ron Luce.
Ron Luce is a very
He
passionate
looks familiar.
person.
I wonder if she was there at the same time as me.
Insanely intense person.
Ron was almost like a godlike mythic figure.
So, real quick, a little side note, them referring to him as like a godlike creature. I don't remember what event it was. It might have just been a class. But there was a joke some of us had because of Ron Luce was being introduced one time onto stage. I've told you about this.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever was introducing him, I don't remember who was introducing him, but they go, "Are you ready to hear from God tonight? Here he is, Ron Luce." So we used to do that. Anytime after that, when Ron Luce was coming on stage, that's how we introduced Ron Luce to each other.
Terrible use of phrasing there.
Or was it?
Or right on point to their message.
He gets a segment called What's Hot.
This is all before my time.
Yeah, I know nothing about this.
He laid out the path to go. Yeah, it's okay for you to be crazy for Jesus.
He is very focused on God. You need God. You need to get serious about your faith.
I had never seen anything like that.
TV is the poisoning of America's mind.
I mean, that was definitely like a big message that I heard because I also went to a Christian school growing up, and MTV was very much like
He's talking about how bad MTV is, and I'm like,
the bad channel to watch.
Really bad.
God's looking for young people. Stand strong in your high school on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. It is possible.
He and his wife, Katie, decided that they were going to begin their own venture called Teen Mania Ministries.
At the beginning, Teen Mania's goal was to get teenagers on mission trips, go out into the world and tell all these unreached people about the good news of Christ.
I definitely remember hearing about global expeditions before I even heard about Acquire the Fire, Teen Mania.
Every nation.
I remember seeing like a brochure or something.
Right. I remember hearing about, because we got to learn about the start of everything. They were talking about how cool Ron Luce was. Like, he was so cool. He would get in pillow fights with kids on the mission trips and all that. He was just down to earth and cool. I remember hearing about that. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an era.
Yep.
I went through that era.
Yep. I think it was after Acquire the Fire that our youth group had a burn party.
Had a burn barrel. We were all bringing the things that are keeping us from God.
Yep.
He was trying to build what he described as this army of God.
Say, man, it was those young people of the 90s. They did it, man. The gospel to the ends of the earth. They did it. Y'all ready to give it everything today? Welcome to Acquire the Fire.
This was before us also.
That looks so 90s.
Yep.
Got bombs.
Bombs.
This is like a Christian atomic explosion with teenagers.
It's just some of the wording choices.
Yep.
Like when you look back, you're like,
Yep.
that's just off.
Yep. Definitely.
I went to a lot of Acquire the Fires as a kid. You're just immersed in music. I'm a professional musician probably because I loved all of it.
The lights went down. There was this dramatic music.
Then Skillet comes on stage.
Remember, some Acquire the Fires, he would show up on a motorcycle.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did he do that at ours?
I don't know. The problem is I've seen so much footage having to do
Yeah.
videos and stuff, so I don't know.
Like, I know I've been in an event where somebody was like driving around on a motorcycle. I don't know if it was this or like a magic show that I went to.
We went to a show where a guy was blindfolded driving a motorcycle on stage.
Yeah.
That was a magic show.
That was a magic show. Never mind. He did not do that when we went.
The music was such a big part of it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I loved the dancing and the like screaming. Everyone's shouting together.
It was hype. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
The other thing that's making it fun is that there really were kids producing these events, stadium shows.
Every role that you can think of was being filled by teenagers.
Pyrotechnics with the responsibility of an 18-year-old kid, which is wild.
Wild.
Turn some keys and flip some switches and...
Yeah, there were some kids that were given responsibilities they definitely should not have at HA.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's so weird having been there and been on that side of it, and now on this side of it.
Yeah.
Ron Luce's preaching was very dynamic and exciting.
I remember never really being into Ron Luce's speaking, but I've never been into like this overly dynamic speakers. So that's never been my thing.
Yeah.
Ron Luce gave me permission to be passionate.
I think that was the thing that Acquire the Fire really did well, was it always inspired teenagers. It gave a sense of purpose and a sense of belonging, which is a basic human need.
Really curious if I recognize her from HA or if I recognize her because she's a Grammy-winning musical artist.
Right.
Ron Luce would have everybody turn around in their seats and like be on their knees like praying.
Do you remember that?
Yep. Yep.
Now that he says it.
Yep. I had a mohawk and an Acquire the Fire.
In the darkness.
To be surrounded by thousands of other people who felt the same way as I did, the excitement was really there.
You had all these kids here ready to like change the world and do something good.
So what do you do now that you're all fired up? Take your fire and change the world.
Recruitment now.
Teen Mania's global expeditions.
Anyone who's interested in going will leave the auditorium.
God wants to use you, not just everybody else. He wants to use you, not just the rest of your youth group, not just other people, other Christians in general. He wants to use you to change the world.
The project is spreading this movement, which requires funds.
You can get the money. Anybody can get the money. God doesn't have a problem getting you the money. You just got to find out whose pocket is that money in.
I'm going to Paraguay.
I'm going to El Salvador!
I'm going to El Salvador. Not with them.
No.
Go for it. Get out of your chair. Get out of the country. Leave town. Get on a plane. Go on a mission trip. It'll fill you. It'll chill you. It'll thrill you. It'll turn you upside down and then right side up.
What?
It'll give you a vision, a sense of destiny.
My first experience on a Teen Mania trip was going to Bolivia.
The motto was die empty every day.
This is a very safe trip for your young people. I have 3 children.
I was in rural India, started feeling really sick. We had this book called Where There Is No Doctor. So it says, this is how you dress a wound. This is how you fix a broken bone. Here's how you do a head injury. Here's how you deliver a baby. And the book says, might be appendicitis. I had emergency appendectomy in Hyderabad, India. The approach to my appendicitis was, let's say it was vintage. That proceeds to get massively infected, and I develop a case of MRSA. I'm leaking infection, but mom and dad aren't getting like real information.
Jeez.
That is messed up.
Yeah.
Who had been taking care of him, and she got a hold of our mom and said, you need to meet him at the airport with an ambulance.
And eventually they put me on commercial flight at the end of the month to fly back with the team. And I spent 3 weeks in the hospital after that. The call went out to pray. Ray Bolt's son might be dying. So Ron Luce comes by to visit. I have this little guest book, and he writes Galatians 6. I bear on my body the marks of Christ. And he changes it to the marks of a world changer.
And it's silly to get like choked up.
I thought, oh, like this has value. This suffering has worth.
The Honor Academy, a one-year internship for committed young adults.
I think a real pivot point for Teen Mania and for Ron Luce was the development of what he calls the Honor Academy, this sort of training school, this finishing school for his elite.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
It was this enormous East Texas property.
Wow.
He's training young people, but he also needs a core of labor.
This is
I mean,
weird.
there's just real practical work that needs doing. You're going to go there to learn, and you're also going to go there to produce Teen Mania, and you're going to pay for that opportunity. It's an internship.
Oh, yeah.
When I graduated,
Yep.
Oh my god.
One of those
Yep.
rings.
I've got my honor ring somewhere.
To me,
I have no idea where it
go to
is.
the Honor Academy. It's going to be like Acquire the Fire 24/7. It's going to be awesome. But the idea that this could somehow be bad for me, you know, that doesn't even really enter your mind. It was definitely different than what I expected.
Same.
Here it
Oh,
is.
this is so weird.
So weird.
Okay. Well,
let's let you share first.
okay. I mean, not a whole lot to share with this first episode. I had no part of Global Expeditions, so that wasn't me at all. I mean, obviously, I knew a lot of people who were at the Academy, Honor Academy, went with Global Expeditions as well, but I had nothing to do with that. Acquire of the Fire, though, yeah, I mean, I think they perfectly described it.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. That's exactly what it was like there. That was the hype. Yeah, and it broke you down. You got excited, you got hyped, you got on fire. Exactly.
Yeah. I would say so we went to Acquire the Fire once as a youth group.
Oh.
That's the only Acquire the Fire I've ever been to.
You've only been to one?
One.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't go to Teen Mania Honor Academy.
Yeah.
I've only been to one, and it was a lot of fun. There were some artists performing that I really wanted to see. Skillet was there,
Skillet
and
was one of the main
then
artists during our era.
who was the girl? Her luggage got lost, and she had to perform in her pajamas.
Was that Acquire the Fire? I don't know.
Yeah.
So many concerts and stuff and
We did during
festivals during that era.
We did during that era. I guess I would say the thing that kept going through my head while I was watching this episode is that in a way there's a fine line, because some of what they were saying does line up with the Bible. Like some of it does, but it's like they took that and then
there was manipulation
made it
involved.
radical. And they manipulated people, and they played with people's emotions, and they just took it too far.
Yeah, and when they talked about like needing funds and like I have firsthand experience, which I'll get into probably on another episode, of them making things seem spiritual that wasn't the actual intention behind it.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see how this is probably a lot the same. I mean, it's Acquire the Fire, and we mentioned that I think at the beginning. It was a recruitment tool.
Yes.
That's what it turned into.
Yeah.
It became a recruitment for Global Expeditions and Honor Academy.
Yeah.
That they hyped it up as much as they could so that you would join up and become an intern.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That became the ultimate goal. So it doesn't matter what it started as, or, I mean, even if there were good messages, and there were good messages, and there were good music and all that, but you could tell the ultimate goal, looking back, was recruitment.
Yes, absolutely. That was their casting a net.
Yeah.
And trying to see how many people they could pull in
Yeah.
to the money makers, because Acquire the Fire was not where they made their money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you did have all those interns paying their monthly fees to be a part of it and do all the work. So they weren't having to pay crews to come in and do all of it.
Yeah. Which CCM, so Honor Academy was expensive. CCM was even more expensive because you were getting a more refined training, and they weren't allowed to have jobs.
No, they were full time there, so yeah, no jobs.
Yeah, they had to be on call all the time. So no one was allowed to have a job. No one was allowed to work, and you had to pay this big monthly tuition.
You had to try and fundraise it while you were there.
Yep. You had to try and fundraise it. They had
You had to email everyone you knew and beg them for money to be able to stay there.
Yep. It was like a part of your faith building exercise was to get the money to pay for your tuition. And we know people who took out loans to be able to pay their tuition, and then had,
massive debt.
Yeah, and it wasn't like student loans because it's not an accredited school.
Right.
They were taking out just like normal loans. They're
Personal loans,
having
maxing credit cards.
yeah, yep, and they're having to make these payments while they're there, but not able to work. But at least they only have to raise part of the payment instead of the whole thing.
Yep. Well, there was use a credit card and then get another credit card to pay that credit card, get another credit card to pay that credit card, and that people did that.
Yep.
To stay at Honor Academy.
Yeah. Which again, like that's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot about it that just looking back, we didn't agree with that part at the time either. We thought that it was a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I went into this with a different mindset from a lot of people that go into Honor Academy, and that is, I think, why I had a different experience. So
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Interesting though. I am excited to get into the next episode, which I'm guessing is going to focus on Teen Mania, because I already saw footage from when I was there. I have no idea what they're going to dig into. I'm just so curious to see what it's going to be about.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We would love to have you like this video, comment down below any questions that you have, thoughts that you have, anything like that. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We have a goal as a channel to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we would love to have you be a part of that. You'll also get notified when our future reactions about this come out. So
yeah,
make sure you check that out.
And if you are an alumni or have experience within Teen Mania, any of the facets of Teen Mania, comment down below what your experience was like. Good or bad. Because I know there are people that had genuine good experiences in Teen Mania.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any experience, good or bad.
Yeah.
Or like questions about having been at the Honor Academy.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions that weren't addressed in the show,
comment
down below. We also have a Patreon. If you want to be more part of the community, you could join up over there. The link will be in the description. We do early release of any of our shows over on Patreon, so you can get that. We also have Patreon exclusives that are only available over there. We'd love to have you just come and join us over there. So link for that is down in the description.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining us, and we'll see you for the next episode of Shiny Happy People.
Season 2.
Season 2. Bye, y'all.